in the dictionary, it's going to have Tom Brady's name next to it. None of those coaches threw any passes. None of those coaches caught any passes. None of those coaches made any tackles. They got guys in the right position because they watch a lot of film and they spend all their time at the facility. But Tom Brady is the Patriot way, and that's the reason why Tom Brady's in the Super Bowl right now, and the Patriots aren't.
Hey, Tom Brady's in the Super Bowl right now, Jeff Saturday. I don't know if you know this, and Tom Brady is not. Jeff, I'll get to you in a hot second. Stephen A., you're up first, though. Should we dismiss Amendola's comments about Brady, Belichick, and the Patriot way?
Absolutely. It should be utterly dismissed. And I like Danny Amendola. I've met him a couple of times, and I'm really very fond of him as a person and as a player. But I think that this was incredibly insulting, very disrespectful, and dare I say, flat out ignorant. I'm going to hand it to Max and Jeff by simply just throwing out a couple of numbers. And I understand, and I'm not leaning on, I don't normally lean on numbers like this, but I think it's incredibly important to point out. Danny Amendola started off his career in St. Louis. He had a 1-15 season. He had a 2-14 season. Okay? Needless to say, they didn't win. He goes to New England. They go to 5 straight AFC championship games. Every year he was there. 3 times they won the Super Bowl. 2 times they ended up Super Bowl champions. Danny Amendola is a bright guy. He plays football. He knows football. Last time I checked, he knows they have special teams. He knows they have a defense. The New England Patriots was ranked as a top 10 defense every single year he was there. 3 times they were top 8. 2 times they were top 5. 1 time they were the #1 defense in the National Football League. It wasn't just Tom Brady. And so you take that into consideration, and then you combine that with the fact that he departs and goes to Miami. It's a 7-9 season. Then he joins Matt Patricia, his former defensive coordinator with New England, who took over the job at Detroit. Their record in 2 years in Detroit was 3-12-1 and 5-11, if I remember correctly. That is an 8-23-1 record. How the hell are you going to just ignore Bill Belichick and bring up this year when they started off the season with 9 different damn dudes saying we ain't going to play because of COVID-19, which included Patrick Chung and Dante Hightower? How you going to do that? That's shade very, very flagrantly being thrown on Bill Belichick, and I think it's unfortunate that he would choose to do that because the facts do not support what he's saying. I think it was wrong for him to say that.
Well, I think we could take it with a grain of salt. Maybe he's salty at Belichick, but I can't just dismiss what a member of the team who was coached by Belichick and caught passes from Tom Brady has to say because, guys, let's not lose the forest for the trees, nor take what Amendola said here too literally. You know, really what's going on? There were 2 camps. Look, we all know Brady and Belichick were great together, and they both deserve credit. Like, we don't need to repeat that constantly. But there were 2 camps, and this is the greatest sports debate of the 21st century. This and Jordan or LeBron, right? But this is unique to this century. Was it more Brady or was it more Belichick? People like me, I think most people, for the most part, thought, it's coaches' league. It's more Belichick. And Belichick is a great coach, and he even did a good job this year going 7-9. Stephen A., as you pointed out, 9 players opted, including some defensive stars, not to play because of COVID. There were some serious injuries on the team, a brand new quarterback. They couldn't practice again, blah, 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 blah. 7-9. Pretty good job by Belichick. Brady's in the Super Bowl. Brady stacked the deck in his favor, didn't leave Belichick with a quarterback, put himself in a perfect position. That's true. He's in the Super Bowl. A lot of quarterbacks you could put in Brady's position, they wouldn't be in the Super Bowl. So I take that as a small piece of evidence. It doesn't end the discussion or the debate. Let's see what Belichick does in the future. But right now, Brady looks very good. Right at this moment, Brady looks better than Belichick. And if you're Camp Brady, which I think Amendola seems to be, so you can take it with a grain of salt. Come on, man. You're downing the coach. You're making the point that players play and coaches coach, so the coach doesn't tackle anyone. He doesn't have value. Come on, stop that, Danny Amendola. But I can't just dismiss his view of who was more the Patriot way, especially since year 1, there he is, Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. I'm not just going to dismiss it.
I could not agree more with Stephen A. and the comments he made about just being disrespectful in the way that you're going to talk about the most winning organization in NFL history. Like, think about the 2 decades that you're talking about. I'm pretty sure Belichick built those teams, right? So not only does he hire guys to come in and play, does he find the guys that fit his system? Does he help the coaches coach those players that said stay up all night, watch all this film, and put them in the right position to make plays? Like, how about we go back and look at the Patriots defense that for the entire Tom Brady time in New England averaged 18 points a game. Like, his entire career in New England, the Patriots defense averaged 18 points a game. That's insane how good that really is. So I think it's not only dismissive towards the coach, it's towards other players. All those guys. You don't think Teddy Bruschi doesn't define the Patriot way? Ted Johnson, right? I mean, Will Fork, Ty Law. Like, go through the list of guys on the defensive side, and Ty Law, all that's going to be, the Hall of Fame is going to be littered with those guys. And Richard Seymour, right? Like these guys all deserve. And what made them unique, Max, is that they all bought in to Belichick's way. So is Tom Brady responsible for those Super Bowls? Absolutely he is. But this has to be an and conversation. The minute you make it an or, you have dismissed both of them and the value and the role that they both played. And the role, by the way, is probably the most important part for both of those guys. Belichick didn't have to be a player, right? He got the right players in the right positions, and you know it's not a fluke because he did it year after year after year and gave them a chance. Did Brady come in and assume a leadership role like none other, drive this organization to new heights, do all those things? Absolutely. But when you just act, and the reason it's so insulting is he brought you in. He brought you in to help for those 5 years. And to Stephen A's point, on the other teams that were absolute trash, right? So you have never had a winning season outside. So if you're telling me it's all about players, why couldn't you win on any of those teams? The coaching does matter.
Well,
development of players and organization does matter. Yeah, understood. But there's a lot of good quarterbacks who don't have this type of legacy and length of productivity. That's the key. 20 years.
Here's the deal. This conversation is too good. Brady can become the first player to win a Super Bowl in 3 different decades. Marinate on that, Max. I know you want to respond. We'll bring Jeff back later, and we will pick this up because we certainly are not done with this debate. It's getting juicy.
Let's do it.